Welcome to Hollywood Information. In this video, we are going to talk about 20 black actors Hollywood doesn't seem to cast anymore. Some of these names were once household staples, dominating the screen in blockbuster films, sitcoms, or award-winning performances. But as time passed, many of them quietly faded from the spotlight, and Hollywood's casting calls simply stopped coming their way. 1. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was once one of the biggest action stars of the 1990s, especially after his role as Blade in the Marvel Vampire trilogy. He had charisma, martial arts skills, and the looks to carry any film. But legal troubles, including a prison sentence for tax evasion, derailed his career. Although he's made a few comebacks, like appearing in Coming to America and Dolomite Is My Name, Hollywood still hasn't fully embraced him as the leading man he once was. 2. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith had a strong run in the 90s and 2000s, starring in Set It Off, The Nutty Professor, and later in The Matrix Reloaded. But in recent years, her acting career has taken a back seat to her work on Red Table Talk and her much-publicized personal life. Hollywood hasn't given her the same big roles she once commanded, and she's more often talked about in tabloids than seen on the big screen. 3. Cuba Gooding Jr. After winning an Academy Award for Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr. was expected to soar to the top of Hollywood's A-list. Instead, a string of poor film choices and later legal controversies left him struggling to secure meaningful roles. Despite his immense talent, Hollywood largely closed the door on him, and he hasn't been able to return to that peak stardom. 4. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash rose to fame with her role in the cult classic Clueless. For a time, she was considered one of Hollywood's brightest young black actresses. But in later years, her career was overshadowed by outspoken political views, which made her a polarizing figure. As a result, casting directors rarely considered her for roles, and her acting career largely stalled. 5. Mekhi Phifer. You may remember Mekhi Phifer from 8 Mile alongside Eminem or his run on Ur. In the early 2000s, it seemed like he was destined for greatness. But as time went on, he struggled to find consistent, high-profile work. Though still active in smaller projects and TV appearances, Hollywood hasn't put him in the major spotlight for years. 6. Taye Diggs. Taye Diggs once lit up the screen in films like How Stella Got Her Groove Back and Brown Sugar. He was considered one of the most handsome and talented leading men of his generation. But while he's still visible on television, his big screen career never reached the heights it once promised. Hollywood simply stopped calling him for blockbuster roles, despite his proven talent. 7. Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox was a major presence in the 90s with roles in Independence Day, Set It Off, and Kill Bill. She had the looks, the charm, and the acting chops to dominate. But as Hollywood often does, especially with black actresses, her career began to fade with age. While she's still working in smaller films and TV, she's far from the A-list star she used to be. 8. Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown was once beloved as Eddie from Disney's That's So Raven. He had comedic timing and a bright future ahead. Unfortunately, a series of legal issues and public struggles derailed his career. Hollywood has distanced itself from him ever since, and his promising acting trajectory came to an abrupt stop. 9. Mo'Nique. Mo'Nique is one of the most controversial stories in Hollywood. After her Oscar-winning performance in Precious, she should have had her pick of roles. But conflicts with industry power players, including Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey, led to her being blackballed. Although she's still active in stand-up and has made a comeback on Netflix, Hollywood's casting directors no longer treat her as the powerhouse star she once was. 10. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard was once a major force, earning acclaim for hustle and flow and appearing in Iron Man. But after disputes with Marvel and other behind-the-scenes issues, his career momentum slowed. Though he found success on television in Empire, his presence in major films diminished, and Hollywood seemed to quietly move on. 11. Garcelle Beauvais. Garcelle Beauvais was a familiar face in the 1990s and early 2000s, appearing in Coming to America, Jamie Foxx Show, and several popular films. Despite her undeniable talent and screen presence, she was often typecast and eventually faded from the mainstream spotlight. Today, she's more known for reality TV than Hollywood acting roles. 12. Omar Epps. Omar Epps had a fantastic run in films like Love and Basketball, Juice, and The Wood. He also thrived on television in-house. But in terms of Hollywood films, his career has slowed dramatically. While he occasionally resurfaces in TV and indie projects, he no longer lands the leading man roles that once made him a star. 13. Angela Bassett. Now, this one might surprise you. Angela Bassett is still widely respected and recently found renewed fame in projects like Black Panther. However, for many years, Hollywood underutilized her incredible talent. Despite delivering powerhouse performances, she was rarely given the big roles she deserved. It's only in recent years that Hollywood has tried to give her the spotlight she always earned. 14. Brandy Norwood. Brandy was not only a successful singer but also starred in Moesha and made history as the first black Cinderella in a major TV production. But after her peak in the late 90s and early 2000s, Hollywood roles became scarce. She shifted her focus back to music and reality television, but her once promising Hollywood career largely stalled. 15. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson became famous through Fast and Furious and Transformers. For a while, he was everywhere. But outside of those franchises, Hollywood hasn't given him much room to grow. Personal controversies and emotional social media rants haven't helped either. As a result, he's stuck in supporting roles rather than the leading man status many once expected for him. 16. Loretta Devine. Loretta Devine is a beloved actress with an unforgettable voice and presence. She has appeared in countless films and television shows, from Waiting to Exhale to Grey's Anatomy. Yet despite her talent, Hollywood hasn't consistently placed her in leading roles. She's often typecast into smaller, secondary characters instead of being given the spotlight she truly deserves. 17. Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson became a household name through Black-ish, and before that, he had roles in films like Barbershop and Hustle and Flow. But outside of that one-hit series, Hollywood hasn't given him the same momentum in big films. Once Black-ish ended, his mainstream visibility sharply declined, showing how Hollywood tends to sideline certain actors after one successful run. 18. Regina King. Regina King's story is a bit complex. She won an Oscar for If Beale Street Could Talk and gained respect as a director. But oddly enough, Hollywood has not consistently put her in front of the camera in major blockbusters. Despite her talent, she has often had to fight for recognition in an industry that doesn't always give black women the same consistent opportunities. 19. Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker was once one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood after the success of the Rush Hour films. His unique comedic style made him a fan favorite. But he disappeared from the spotlight, reportedly due to being selective with roles and focusing on his personal life. While fans still hope for Rush Hour 4, Hollywood hasn't cast him in much of anything else for years. 20. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is a legend, an EGOT winner, and once a regular star of blockbuster films like Sister Act and Ghost. But over the years, Hollywood stopped giving her big film roles. Today, she's best known for The View, where her outspoken personality keeps her in the public eye. While she still occasionally acts, Hollywood no longer treats her as the leading star she once was. And there you have it, 20 black actors Hollywood doesn't seem to cast anymore. Each of them had their moment in the spotlight, and some still make occasional comebacks. But for one reason or another, whether it's personal choices, industry politics, or simply Hollywood moving on, they've all faded from the big screen in a way that fans can't help but notice. Do you think Hollywood has been unfair to these actors? Or do you think some of them chose their own paths away from the spotlight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.